There's a voice that lives inside every person, quiet, steady, always watching. It knows the truth before your excuses. It knows the cost behind your delays. It's the voice that whispers when you lie to yourself, the one that aches when you abandon your potential. And if you listen closely, you'll hear it say the one thing most people spend their entire lives trying to avoid. You could be more, but you're not, because you choose not to be. That voice doesn't speak from hate, it speaks from hunger. The hunger to become, the hunger to rise, the hunger to fulfill what was planted inside of you before the world taught you to settle. And the only way to answer that hunger is discipline. Not motivation, not talent, not luck or genetics or the perfect timing. Discipline. The ability to do what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. Because if you wait to feel ready, you'll wait forever. If you wait to be in the mood, you'll lose the moment. And if you wait for the world to push you, you'll get trampled by those who already decided to push themselves. Discipline is the great separator. It's what built bridges that defy gravity. It's what carved freedom into nations and turned ideas into empires. It's what took Edison through 10,000 failures just to bring one spark of light into the darkness. And yet, discipline is boring. It's unglamorous. It doesn't post well on social media. It doesn't give you dopamine hits or applause. It asks you to get up early, to stay late, to say no when it's easier to say yes, to train when no one is watching, to practice in silence, to build when others sleep. But that's why it works, because everyone wants the reward, but few are willing to walk through the fire that forges the character required to hold it. We live in a world that glorifies ease. Get rich quick, get fit quick, go viral overnight. But real growth has no shortcuts. It has sweat, it has setbacks, it has silence. Discipline is the quiet architect behind every loud victory. Walt Disney was rejected over 300 times before anyone believed in his vision. Colonel Sanders was turned down 1,009 times before someone said yes to his chicken recipe. At age 65, what kept them going? Not inspiration, discipline. Discipline is doing the next right thing, again and again and again, until your life bends to your will. And that will, it's not born in comfort, it's born in decisions. You decide to show up when it's inconvenient. You decide to push when it's easier to quit. You decide to hold yourself to a higher standard, not because anyone's watching, but because you are. The truth is, most people don't fail. Most people don't fail because they're incapable. They fail because they're inconsistent. Discipline is the antidote to inconsistency. It makes you reliable to yourself. And the day you become reliable to yourself, your future becomes inevitable. Because if you can trust you, nothing else matters. Discipline isn't about intensity, it's about consistency. The people who win aren't the ones who sprint for a week. They're the ones who jog every day, every month, every year. They read when it's boring. They train when it's raining. They invest when no one else sees the payoff. They understand that success is not an event, it's a reputation, earned through years of alignment between your actions and your values. And you build that reputation with small acts of discipline, stacked one on top of the other until the world can't ignore you anymore. You don't rise because you announce it. You rise because you outwork the noise. You rise because when the average person flinches, you lean in. Because when others need a break, you've only just started. Because when temptation calls, you remind yourself, I don't negotiate with weakness. Not anymore. Not today. Not when you've come this far. You see, everyone wants freedom, but freedom isn't free. It costs everything you're not willing to do. You want financial freedom? Then master the discipline of saving, investing, saying no to instant pleasure. You want physical freedom? Then master the discipline of moving your body, of fueling it right, of sleeping when others are scrolling. You want mental freedom? Then master the discipline of guarding your mind like a sacred temple, because what you let in, you become. Freedom is not granted. It is earned. It is carved, moment by the chiseling blade of discipline. And here's the truth that people run from. You are always training. Every choice you make is a rep. Skip the gym? That's a rep for quitting. Procrastinate again? That's a rep for avoiding discomfort. Break your word? That's a rep for unreliability. But when you push through, when you show up tired, when you work in silence, when you do the hard thing again and again, you are stacking reps for greatness. And discipline becomes who you are, not something you do. And once it becomes who you are, you're no longer asking, should I? You're saying, this is what I do. This is who I am. Because discipline is not about restriction. It's about liberation. The disciplined man is not a slave to his feelings. He is free from them, free from the pull of distraction, free from the chains of doubt, free from the lies that comfort brings you joy. Comfort is the silent killer of greatness, and discipline is the assassin of comfort. It's not meant to feel good. It's meant to make you good. Because when it all falls apart, when the motivation fades, when the applause dies, when no one is coming to save you, discipline remains, unshaken, unbothered, unmoved. The unbreakable foundation beneath your dream. You want a better life? Then earn it. You want to be uncommon? Then train like it. You want to change your story? Then do what others won't for as long as it takes. Because the goal isn't to feel inspired for a day. The goal is to build a life that inspires discipline every day. You don't get that by wishing. You get that by deciding. By drawing a line in the sand and saying, I will not live a life built on excuses. I will not let my feelings vote anymore. I will not wait to be ready, liked, understood, or approved. I move. I show up. I execute. Period. Let the world wonder how. Let them guess why. Let them call it luck, timing, talent. You'll know the truth. It was never magic. It was never easy. It was never overnight. It was discipline. Every single day. Because one day, all the lights will go off. The crowds will go home. The stage will go dark. And all that will remain is the person you became when no one was watching. The habits, the integrity, the courage, the scars you earned from doing the right thing when it was the hardest thing. That's your legacy. Not the money, not the titles, not the trophies that collect dust. Your discipline becomes your destiny. Every time you chose growth over comfort, every time you pushed when others paused, every time you honored your word when no one else held you to it, you were writing the story of who you are. And there is no greater reward than waking up, looking in the mirror, and seeing someone you respect. Someone who didn't fold when it got hard. Someone who didn't blame, didn't flinch, didn't run. Someone who stood in the fire and said, "Let it burn. I'm building something stronger." The disciplined life isn't loud. It's not flashy. It doesn't ask for recognition. It is carved in private and revealed in public. It is a quiet force, a relentless rhythm that turns struggle into strength. You want to stand out? Then stand firm. You want to lead? Then lead yourself first. You want to change your world? Then control your habits. Because it doesn't start out there. It starts with the man or woman staring back at you in the mirror. The one who knows the truth. The one who's been waiting for you to stop talking and start doing. The one who's tired of false starts, of broken promises, of tomorrow. Discipline says, today is the only day I need. Not next week, not next year. Today, right now. This breath, this rep, this choice. Because this is how greatness is built, not in some distant future, but in the micro decisions of the present. So stop waiting, stop negotiating, stop apologizing for wanting more, and start becoming the person who earns it. You don't need more motivation. You don't need more time. You need to remember who you are. You are not average. You are not weak. You are not your excuses. You are a builder, a warrior, a disciplined creator of your future. So stand up, square your shoulders, and walk like someone who finally understands. The dream is free, but the discipline is what makes it real. This is your moment. Own it, live it, build it, with discipline, until the world is forced to respect your name.